In baseball, there's always something new and exciting happening. With so many games each year, there are many memorable moments. Today, we'll be taking a look at the top 5 craziest and most unique moments in MLB history that are one in a million and unlikely to happen again. Number 5, down goes Zimmer. During the 2003 baseball game between the Yankees and Red Sox, things got crazy in Boston. First, there was a fight between players after a pitch hit one of them. Then, a coach got involved in a scuffle with a player from the other team. Later on, another player fought with a Fenway Park employee. It was a wild and bizarre scene. Number 4, 2 batters at one time. During a baseball game between the Cardinals and Cubs in 1974, there was a crazy moment. The score was tied 5-5 in the 9th inning, and a pitcher named Al Hrabowski was on the mound. He had a unique way of pitching that made batters wait. One of the Cubs players, Gary Madlock, got annoyed and walked away from the batter's box to put pine tar on his bat. The umpire told him to come back, but he ignored it. The umpire started calling strikes even though no one was in the batter's box. The Cubs manager and another player argued with the umpire. Meanwhile, the next hitter, Jose Cardinal, got into the argument too and went towards home plate. The umpire kept calling strikes, and Cardinal and Madlock both tried to get into the batter's box at the same time, creating a very strange situation. A big fight broke out between the two teams, and the game got chaotic. It might be the only time in baseball history when 2 batters were ready to swing at the same time. Number 3, Disco Demolition Night. In 1979, Mike Veeck, the son of Bill Veeck, had a wild idea. He wanted fans to come to the ballpark for just 98 cents if they brought a disco record with them. The plan was to destroy the records and end the disco era during a doubleheader game. He expected 20,000 fans but got over 50,000. Many fans caused chaos, throwing records and dangerous items onto the field. They even set fire to the field and destroyed equipment. The game had to be stopped several times, and eventually the White Sox had to forfeit the second game. Disco Demolition Night became a famous and disastrous event. Number 2, Independence Day in Atlanta. On the 4th of July in 1985, the Mets and Braves played a really crazy baseball game that went on for 2 days. There were delays, arguments, and ejections, and even a fireworks show planned for after the game. Nobody knew when it would end. The game was tied after 9 innings and continued into extra innings. The Mets took the lead in the 13th inning, but the Braves tied it again. The game went on until the next day, and the Mets finally scored another run in the 18th inning. In the 18th, the Braves were out of regular players, and a relief pitcher named Rick Camp, who was a terrible hitter, had to bat. But surprisingly, he hit a home run, making it a really unexpected and memorable moment in baseball history. The Mets eventually won the game, but the fireworks still went off in the early morning, confusing the residents who thought it was an emergency. Number 1, 10-cent beer night. In 1974, the Cleveland Indians wanted more people to come to their baseball game, so they had a special promotion called 10-cent beer night. They sold 10-ounce beers for only 10 cents, and fans could buy as many as they wanted. But things went terribly wrong. The game was between the Indians and another team they had recently fought with, so tensions were already high. Over 25,000 fans showed up, way more than expected, and they were rowdy. People ran onto the field and did inappropriate things, like flashing the crowd or running naked. Fans even set off firecrackers, and the stadium became chaotic. By the 7th inning, most of the sober fans had left, and the remaining drunk fans started a dangerous fight on the field, using weapons they had torn from the stadium. Players had to defend themselves with baseball bats. Eventually, the police restored order, but the game had to be cancelled, and many people were hurt. The Indians tried another 10-cent beer night later that season, but with a limit of 2 beers per person to avoid a similar disaster. That's it for today. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.